You've probably seen a ton of videos talking about Amazon FBA and how you can use that to make a ton of money online. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can set up your account and get started selling on Amazon. The first and most important step is to make your Amazon account. The way you do that is by going to sellercentral.amazon.com. You're going to click sign up, and from there, you're going to create an account. I recommend that you create a new account rather than using your existing account that you use as a shopper. The reason for this is once you use that email for your shopper, now your shopper and seller account are tied together. So I would recommend you just make a new email that you're just going to use for the business and then use that to create a new Amazon account. Once you register for an Amazon account, they're going to ask you for some more additional things to be approved as a seller. Some things that you can expect are your address, your social security number, your bank account. They'll also want to see some way to verify where you live. So that can generally be like a credit card statement, a utility bill. And from there, they're going to send you an address verification code in the mail. This is because they want to be able to prove that you live where you say you're going to live. You're also going to have to do an interview with an Amazon representative. And this isn't really vetting you to see if you're like a good business person or anything like that. They just want to make sure that they can verify that you're actually a human and you're not just a robot trying to make a seller account. So if you're a legitimate human, you live where you say you're going to live, the odds are you're going to get approved to be able to sell on Amazon. Nice. You might be wondering if you need to make a new bank account or maybe register for an LLC for your new Amazon business. I would say you can just operate as a sole proprietorship. Talk to your CPA about what's actually best for your situation. But generally, you can start as a sole prop and just use your bank account. But if you do see that you're going to be sticking with this, then you need to go ahead and form a separate business bank account, maybe get an EIN, things like that. But again, talk with your CPA to figure out what's going to be best for your situation. Now, the first decision that you're going to have to make once you sign up is if you're going to sell as an individual seller or a professional seller. I have a video that I'll link up here that breaks this down further, but basically the gist is you can have an individual selling account and a professional selling account. The primary difference here is going to be in the price. The professional selling account is going to have a $40 a month fee. It's $39.99, whereas the individual selling account is free. It doesn't have any kind of monthly expense to it, but they are going to charge you an additional 99 cents per item that you sell. So right off the bat, we know if you're going to be selling more than 40 items per month, then just based off the numbers, it makes sense to go with that professional selling account. There's also other perks to having a professional selling account, like being able to utilize software and getting other things that, again, I break down in another video that you can watch after this one, but that's the gist. The price is really the most important factor. Now that you have made your Amazon account, you've been approved to sell on the platform, and you have decided that you want to be an individual professional seller, the next thing that you need to do is decide on a business model. What I cover a lot on this channel is going to be arbitrage. I do a bit of wholesale as well. And then the last method that people like to use is private label. I don't have any experience in that. I would recommend starting off with retail arbitrage. And this is the process of going into stores, scanning products, finding items for cheap, and then reselling them on Amazon for more. Now I've shifted the majority of my business into online arbitrage, but I believe that retail arbitrage is going to be better for beginners. Again, I have a video that breaks down all these models further that you can check out after this video. And let me know in the comments below which model you're going to get started with when you sell on Amazon. The next thing that we want to do is get you your software that you're absolutely going to need. If you're starting off on a small budget, you want to minimize your software spend, but in my opinion, there is one that you absolutely have to have that's paid, and that is going to be Keepa. You can also use the Amazon Seller Central app for all of your profit calculations and look at some other data, but the paid tool that I believe you absolutely have to have is Keepa. It is $20 a month, and I'm going to show you why it's so important. This is an example of a Keepa chart, and basically what it does is it allows us to look at the historical data for any product on Amazon. There's a few key data points that I'll cover really quickly. It's the buy box, the sales rank history, the review count, and the new offer count. The green line here in this top chart is the sales rank graph. Whenever we see a drop, that means that a sale happened. So a sale happened here and here and here and so on. This is important because it allows us to see when the items are selling on Amazon, and we want to see a historically good sales volume so that we can know we're buying items that are actually going to sell. If you're buying something that's going to make you $100 profit and 500% ROI, that's awesome, but at the end of the day, if it only sells twice a year, we don't want to be buying products like that. It's also important to be looking at the price history. The buy box is basically what the price that it's selling for on Amazon. Whenever you're shopping and you see add to cart, buy now, that's the seller with the buy box. And we want to see a good historical buy box price. we can see that this product is pretty much always selling for 15. So we know that we can sell this product for 15. If we can sell it profitably for 15, then we're in the green and we can move on. We also want to look at review count and new offer count here. If the new offer count were going up pretty rapidly, that means more and more sellers are coming in the listing, and that means that we're going to be seeing a decrease in price as the supply increases. Review count is also good to look at because it can help us gauge the velocity as well. When we see review count going up, that means the item is getting sales because it has to be getting sales to be getting reviews. So those are the 4 key points that we want to look at. We also want to make sure that Amazon is not on the listing, and I'll show you another quick keeper chart here. And this orange shading here is what tells us that Amazon is on the listing. As a beginner, I would say you can just avoid listings where you see a lot of orange shading. Down the line, you can see, are you going to be able to get rotation and things like that? But we're just getting started, so I would say as a starter, if you're just seeing Amazon all over the listing, just avoid it. So now we have our Amazon account. We've chosen a business model. We got the Amazon seller app and Keep Us so that we can actually get started. Now let's go over what kind of expectations you can expect for this business. At the end of the day, it depends on how much money you have to start with and how much time you're willing to put into it. You know, if you're starting with $1,000, which I believe is plenty to get started, and you can focus on items that have like a 50% return on investment, there's going to be a learning curve, and that 50% might only end up being like 30. But generally, we're seeing in my business, which is, you know, high volume, lower ROI, we see at least 20 to 25% return on investment. So you can just do that math. Let's say you have a 50% return. I think as a beginner, you should strive for 50% return. So if you spend $1,000 on inventory, you should see roughly a $500 gross profit. Now you need to take out things like your other expenses, like your Keep Us $20 a month, maybe an inventory lab at $70 a month, your Amazon seller account is $40 a month. So start taking out all of your expenses minus what your expected gross profit is. At the end of the day, it all comes down to your inventory spend. So the more money you're able to profitably spend on inventory, the more profit you're going to be able to make. The most important thing is to take action. So now that you're all set up, go ahead and jump into these videos here where I can teach you how to do step-by-step sourcing and that you can actually start and grow a successful Amazon business. Thanks for watching.